All right, guys, Northwoods TCG is poking the bear. That's right, I'm going after Pokemon knowledge right here, right now. So stay tuned. All right, guys, that's right. We are poking the bear. I'm Andy Northwoods TCG, and today I am poking at Pokemon knowledge. This case that he's putting out there that this was a reprint and not a restock, we're going after it. Now, this is going to be fun. So we can discuss this. We can do however we want. This is Monday. I do my live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time. I'm open to go live either direction. I think it'd be quicker to have this discussion, but I also would like to discuss some other things with him too. It'd be kind of fun. So I'm calling him out. I'm trying to get him to actually acknowledge a discussion on this, but we're going to talk about this. This is friendly. I'm not going to be mean, not going to be, like sitting there calling names or anything like that, but I'm going to point out the case on why I truly and 100% believe that this is a restock. And this was not a reprint. Pokemon Knowledge's point is that's 100,000 ETBs that were held. I get that. I 100% think that that's a lot for a normal person. That's a huge amount of product. Don't get me wrong. The other part is that he thinks the pallets would take up too much space. Okay, could be a valid point. And number three, the stands that they came in were absolutely made by Pokemon to be put out in display. They were professional stands from them. Okay, we can look at all three of these things when we're going down through this list. Now, once again, 100% friendly. Don't get mad at chats. Don't come after me. It's just fun. So, and like I said, I would love to have a discussion going back and forth on the reasonings intellectually. I'm not making this a fight to the death type deal. I'm not trying to make this an argument. I'm just trying to point out that there can be differences in the viewing of these particular things and how this could actually affect the market, if it will at all. I don't think it will. But we're going to talk about, first of all, the storage space. So the point is that there's 100,000 ETBs that were available, roughly. They sold, you figured out there was 1,956 stores in Target. That's how many stores are actually out there. Some of them got a full case. Ours did not. We did not even get close. We got like 2 of each. So it varied depending on each, which I'll give it to them. Let's just say that 3 times or 2 times as many as they put out there went to, the online sales. So we got 100,000 ETBs. I think we can both agree. That's kind of where I was at too, with somewhere between like 70 and 100,000 ETBs total on this sale, between the online sales and, of course, the store sales. So 100% online with him. I absolutely agree that that's probably a pretty plausible number when it comes down to that overall sales that they had for Black Friday. Now, let's break it down a little bit on what we're actually looking for or at when it comes down to the space side of things. So I looked it up. They are stored on a 48-inch by 48-inch pallet. So you're talking about a 4 by 4 pallet, 8 square feet of space. They are stacked 6 feet tall on this particular pallet. So I looked at it, people standing next to it. It's about eye level to most individuals when it comes down to ETBs. So fairly good sized pallet. Not going to argue that point. But you got to remember the one big factor is about these particular storage places. And this is Excel that has this. Excel Marketing Inc. is actually the company that distributes to number 1, Target, number 2, Dollar General, and then they go to number 3 at Walgreens and CVS. So those are really their 4 big markets that I could find that I recognize and is readily available through most of the country. And then they do go to a bunch of like grocery stores, Speedway, all of those as well. They do distribute to them as well for Pokemon and sports cards products. They're pretty much a full distributor of Yu-Gi-Oh! All of it. I mean, they literally give all of it to the stores. So they're the same as like MJ Holding when it comes down to what they do. Now, when we sit there and break that down, their facilities are the smallest one that I could find. I kind of looked up and did some research. The smallest facility was 2 million. Their largest facility, which is down in Arizona, is about 4 million square feet. Just to put that in perspective on how big that is. You're talking about an 8 square foot pallet in a 4 million square foot building or 2 million square foot building. You could lose it in the middle of the building. That's how small you're talking about. And they could stack these 2 high. So basically you're looking at a 2 stack high square footage of 8 square feet on the ground. So you could darn near lose the thing. So saying that they're worried about space in these facilities is probably not an issue. And another reason that I don't believe that is even, ADC and all those other places have space all over the place because Pokemon isn't printing right now. We aren't getting a ton of stock at these places. So they are holding probably fairly good spaces available. But when we sit there and talk about it, 100,000 ETB sounds like a lot. And if you were putting them in one facility and you actually broke this down to a pallet quantity, you're looking at 100,000 ETBs breaks down to 10,000 cases, and 10,000 cases breaks down to 167 pallets of this particular product. Now, still 167 pallets seems like a lot. That seems, if you think about that square footage wise, that's a pretty good space. But the other factor is too is you got to think about it. It's going to be broken down to 5 locations because they're broken over throughout the country and broken into 5 locations. And each one of these locations is going to have some to distribute to their branches that they're in their area. So once again, that grouping gets smaller. You're down to 34 cases or 34 pallets per location. And that means that if you were to break that down again, you're roughly got 8.5 pallets of each style ETB at these locations. 8.5 pallets of Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, and Silver Tempest. That's not a lot. Realistically, in a 2 million square foot building, a total of 34 pallets for all 4 types of these is not a lot. The other reason I'm going to point out that it's not a reprint is because of the fact that Excel makes their own packaging. They make their own stands. They do that already. When they build these mystery products that are at Walgreens, they have the lightning boxes. They have a bunch of sports card boxes that they put out there, and they build their own stands. They do. They make the little stands where you can set them in there. And you look at any Walgreens, or sometimes even at Dollar General they get them, but mostly at Walgreens, they have their own stands to hold these particular products. Same thing at Target. They make the end holders, and they look like Pokemon. They really do. They look like they're professionally made because I'm sure that they got some requirements by Pokemon on how they build these, but they are 100% made for that. So that disproves that as well. They're building their own stands, and if you're going to do a Black Friday sale, why not build your own stands? And they probably aren't just, they're probably stands that they already have for other products that they're releasing. Because if you look at them, they're pretty generic. I mean, they're not like a fancy standout stand that was specifically made for that. They could have been used for any ETB release. I think they're actually the same stands that they used last year when they did the Crown Zenith tins as well. And they built those as well. So, I mean, once again, they build their own stands. So the marketing itself is all done internally by them as well. So when you sit there and actually look at what we have for a breakdown and what Excel does as a company, they do a lot of repacks. They do tins. They create tins with them Chansey promos from Cosmic Eclipse and them Garnivore promos all the way from back from Cosmic Eclipse. So them have been sitting around for 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. They've been holding on to those promos alone, and them they still come out. They just came out again with another batch of them at Walgreens. They just showed up again, along with the Tyranitar. So now they switch it up a little bit, but now they got a Tyranitar version, and a Darkrai has already been one of them that's been there a long time. Excel has been known to hold product for a very long period of time. They do continue to break it down. They continue to build mystery products. I'm sure based on the reprint status and the scarcity of booster boxes, probably in the past in Sword and Shield especially, booster boxes were very difficult to find. And I'm thinking it was probably the same case for like Excel and MJ Holding as well. They probably got more ETBs. And I'm willing to bet that if you were to somehow get into the inner workings, the inner sanctum of Excel, they probably have more of those ETBs still sitting there. They will be breaking down and probably continuing to put in products. So is it unreasonable for them to just have that amount of product sitting around? No, I don't think so. When you're talking about 8 to 9 or pallets of ETBs just for the sale alone per 5 locations, it really isn't a big number, and it doesn't take up a lot of square footage. Sports card is definitely going to be their biggest square footage. Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! Very small, Magic probably medium, Pokemon's probably their biggest area. But they do continue to make these mystery products. They do continue to make these all these different tins and things like that. So overall, definitely 100% possible, in my opinion, that they were holding it that long. Granted, I'm sure someone on the Discord that Rattle does is probably trying to pull some evidence out. But unless you could probably get an Excel representative out there to actually pull it up, maybe they did. I missed it on it. I looked through there. There's a lot of people just talking about it and kind of going back and forth on the argument on it, but nobody really said, well, I'm from Excel, and yeah, this was a reprint. I don't think Pokemon was holding this product at all. I don't think this is something that they had any intention of holding. It did not come from Pokemon. I don't think the Pokemon company was involved at all in this particular round of ETBs. I think it was just all at the distributor level. I'm willing to bet if you go to AMG Holding, it's probably the same story. They probably have a bunch of this still laying around. because they do their mystery packs or mystery power boxes and all that kind of stuff. And we're still finding Lost Origins, we're still finding Brilliant Stars, we're still finding Astro and Silver Tempest in all of its products. So meaning they still have a lot of it in stock in booster pack form. And it depends on where they're getting your booster packs from for this particular product that really decides that. So could it be a reprint? I can never 100% say with anybody I have in my train of people say that it was a reprint. I don't think Pokemon International, Pokemon Center will ever say it was a reprint. But I truly do feel that it was all a restock, that Excel had this product in-house and they just sent it out, cleaning out some areas. Maybe they had too much of it. Finally, they're just tired of dealing with it. Saw a great opportunity to make a little bit of money, quick cash for the holiday season. Still made $3-4 of ETB and just got it out of there. That just depends on what the rate was. I know that they're getting them dirt cheap. Their ETBs are probably dirt cheap when they're getting them. So overall, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, like I said, all friendly, all good things, all friendliness. I'm not starting to fight. I'm not trying to sit here and get into a scuffle. I'm just trying to have a discussion on a reasonable side of how this could be a restock and not a reprint. And the reasoning behind why some of us on the restock side truly do feel this way is that I truly do believe that it was. So overall, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that this was a restock or a reprint? I'm always curious to hear what you guys have to say. PK, if you want to have a discussion, I would love to have a discussion with you either here on this channel or on your channel, your choice. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.